We are live, we are live. We, me and the pup. I just gotta plug something in here. Hang on, honey. He's turning around. Hang on, hon. Hang on. Tie this up. Tie this up. I don't have the rubber ducky this morning. Yes, be careful. Just wait for a few people to drop in. Can I plug this in? No, I can't. Okay, so no extra lighting this morning. Okay. There you go. Let's get her started. If you're just watching this, if you're watching this after the live is uploaded, you can always fast forward the video a bit. So I'm just cleaning out his eyes here. So I go live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you don't know who I am, my name is Elizabeth Jenn, and I've been grooming since 2010 professionally. There you go. Let's bring this little pup in a little closer. There. I want to see the pup. I want to see me. So I'm taking all of this out here. So I'm here for any questions. That's why I go live. So I can chit chat with you guys. I have 3 of these Cotons with me today. They're all brothers. Well, not from the same mom, but they're brothers just the same. I'm going to clean out those ears and eyes in a second. Want to clean out your eyes, hon? I'm going to use some tear stain remover, topical remover. This actually doesn't really take the tear stains away for some reason. What it does is, if you use it regularly, it will prevent new staining. That's how I'm seeing it. Because the only reason why these eyes stain is because of their eyes will leak. You know, they'll have leaky eyes, the tears, and that will cause, it's the bacteria in there that causes it to stain. So, and that's why they stain. Did I hear growling? No growling, guys. No barking and no growling. I've got 2 other ones walking around. I usually groom 1 dog at a time in my, there's always only 1 dog at a time in my grooming room, except for when they're family. So, I'll bring this in closer. I'm just going to shave these ears just a bit. Let me shave the inside here. These pups don't have any ear problems in the sense they don't have any ear infections, and they never do actually. I've been grooming them for years and years. And I'm just shaving the inside. I could pluck also, but I like to shave. So as long as there's enough room to breathe and that it's cleared out. I'm going to take the second one. A clean one. Hello, Shelly. I can't say, but you are excellent at dog grooming. Oh, thank you. That dog is adorable. This is a little Coton de Tulear. Yes. And his name is Spark. So this is Spark. And Spark is with his brothers. His brothers are over there. So we have Nanook. And we have Copain. Copain in French is a French name. Is a French word actually, because copain means friend in French. They're nice and clean. So I'm going to clean these out later. So we're going to use a little bit of this ear cleaner. Yes, these are French pups. You guys are French? You're French. You speak French? There you go. So I was reading on the bottle, they say that, you know, a lot of times, you know, groomers will pour, because that's how ear cleaner is supposed to be, right? You're supposed to pour it down the ear. But I wanted to mention that on the bottle it says that if ever there's any perforations in the ear or whatnot, not to use the product. So I don't know if the dog has any ear problems, so I prefer just putting it on the cotton pad. This is a second one, so I'm not going to use the same one in that ear. If ever you do see me use the same one, it's because I used one side and then I'll flip it over and use the other side. But I try my best to, you know, use two different ones. Anurag. Hi, madame. Where are you from? I am from Canada. I am from Canada. That's where I'm from. And a hello to you. I'm just going to see back there, little one here. I saw that there was some debris back there. What's going on with your bum bum? Can we see that? No, I see too much debris. I washed him and cleaned him out back there, but oh boy, there's still a piece left there, a piece of, yeah, we don't want to look at that. I'm just gonna cut that out. And what I will do though, see, I use my flea comb to clear that out. I'm gonna throw this out. And I'm going to come in with a, where are they? My baby wipes. Where'd my baby wipes go? Oh, darn it all. Okay, I'm just going to use a round. I'm going to wet it here, guys. I don't know where I set my baby wipes. I had my little ones over on the weekend, and I was changing her diaper and using my baby wipes. So I'm just going to clean that bum area out. Yeah. Had to clean that out. What's going on there? Use a little bit of alcohol. I've wiped this up. Use a little bit of alcohol on there and let that just set and dry. I'm going to do the same thing for these scissors, because if you went to the bum there, we do need alcohol to disinfect that. All right, we're ready to, ooh, this is coming off. How come? Are you moving around too much? I usually put this on before I start cleaning them, because I want that to set better. But you know what? I forgot. I try to avoid to get any sprays in their face, so it's good to just wet your hand with the spray. All right, I'm going to give them a little brush. Anyone here? Your dream place? I'm seeing that Anurag. I hope I'm saying your name right. It's your dream place, Canada. Yeah, well, it's an okay place. It's snowing actually right now. We've had such beautiful weather. It's spring, so the flowers are starting to come up, but it decided to snow today. If you can see, look at that snow outside. I don't know if you can see, but I don't know if we can see. Maybe I moved around too much, I don't know. All right, so now we're gonna get him dry. So if you're wearing a headset, the dryer's pretty loud. So I would set a, what do you call those? Groomer's helper on his head, but he doesn't like it. So I'm not going to do the groomer's helper on him today. I'm going to still try to practice him, but for today's video, I will not. A little bit of alcohol on that also. All right. So I'm going to set him up for drying. I'm going to back up a bit. Likes to turn around a lot. The dog's name is, this is a, oh, not Spark. Spark. Dog's name is Spark. And he really wears his name well, because sometimes he'll just, you know, yelp real quick for no reason. And it's like a spark, you know? It's just like a spark. No, 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 up, up. No, 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 no. He doesn't want to get in. You know what? He usually gets in, and I don't know why. I don't know why he doesn't want me to set him in there. You want to try again, honey? What's going on? Why don't you want to set in there? I've been grooming you for years. If he... See, that's why I told you spark. Okay, so for some reason, I'm going to have to write it down. For some reason, he doesn't want to be set. The reason why I usually put that loop is so that he doesn't keep turning and turning and turning and turning while I'm trying to work. So he doesn't want, and I'm going to write that down. I find that a little odd that he doesn't want, because he usually does let me set him there. So when there are changes, any changes, that's why we have cards. Well, I work with cards. His little card says, no, no, honey. His little card says that he's fine, you know. He's fine with everything there. But I guess I'm going to change that on his card. I just set the card back down. Oh, there it is. Yep. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, we're going to dry you, honey. Let's dry you. Oh, all right. So I'm going to dry him. You're going to notice that I subscribed to your channel because I like your videos. Thank you so much, Anurag. I hope I said your name right again. Thank you kindly for subscribing. That's really, really sweet of you. I will be creating videos for members as soon as the community hits 4,000. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We're about 100 subscribers to go. And as soon as the community hits 4,000, I will be recording private videos for you guys. And it will be about grooming, but it'll also be about all kinds of things going on in my life. So I'll be sharing parts of my life, my journey, and whatnot. So, but a lot of grooming and a lot of learning too. Okay, so I'm going to dry him. It's going to be loud, and you're going to notice that I dry in sections. Usually when they're set with the belly band, they don't turn, so I can really go in the sections and do like a leg, the side of the back, the top of the back, and whatnot. But since he's not tied, he will be turning a bit. But I'll try to do section for section. But if he's fighting me, I'm not going to fight it because I don't like having to fight with a dog. I try to go with the flow, right? Let's go with the flow, guys. All right, here we go. direction. See how he's always turning? Like if they're concentrating on one area and getting it done and then moving on to the next. Because this way it makes me feel like I'm all over the place. I'm sorry for the wind on the mic. This is a new mic I'm using today, so I'm anxious to hear how it went. You may have to put that fuzzy thing that comes with the mic to cut out some of the wind. Usually you wear those things when you're outside, right? Oh, there's wind inside. We're almost done. I'm finishing up the legs. I'll be drying this head with a different dryer. It won't be so loud. Wow, it is snowing hard out there, guys. Crazy. Can you turn, honey? It's easier for me when it's this. Thank you. Thank you. Can you do your neck here? Here you are. If you'd let me put the happy hoodie, then you would remind me. See, I wear ear protection because I'm using my ear right off ear. My left ear. losing my hearing. And my doctor recommended that I wear these while drawing. See how since he's turning, I have to be, I'm not that comfortable right now with the drawing because my arms are stretched out. So that's why they're usually tied. They usually tie the cup to that belly band so they don't do the turning. How come you seem like you have an itch here? When that happens with rushing or, when you're in an area and you start seeing them a lot of scratch, sometimes it's because they have itchy skin in that area. And not just because it itches once, because there's something going on. So I'll have to talk to Dad about it, see if there was anything that the vet said, because I noticed saw the vet lately because of this hole here. I'll explain that in a moment. His hair's not growing back. It is in some parts, and it's growing back funny. It used to be all white. Are we done, hon? Can I see the front? See here, are your legs done? So hold on a second. And then start. And then start. Their dogs are so good on the table. He's just a little more wiggly. Sometimes he yelps, like absolutely no reason. His mom and I, we call him Hollywood. He only exaggerates sometimes. I said, Hollywood, you get me. I just want these legs nice and dry so I can really give him this. You get that sweet sandwich of this crap in it. So that's it. I'm just going to go around his neck just a bit. And I'm going to cut him with the other drawing. This is just around his neck. I'm not doing his ears. So that's good enough. Okay, hang on. After 15 years of using that dryer without these, that's wreaked havoc on my hearing. Another thing that I use to protect myself, of course, is this, because, if you're just grooming your dog once in a while, it's fine. You don't really need one. It's just after years and years of grooming day by day and so many dogs, you breathe in a lot of dust, dander, little hair slithers, and that's like those little hairs. That's like it's like glass, right? And it causes lung problems. And there's a disease called groomer's lung. I talk about this often, and you'll hear me talk about this all the time. I'm trying to warn everyone about that disease. It is just like that disease that you get when you're working with wood, and the sawdust and all that. And so that's why I wear this mask for that. I'm going to answer some of these questions here. Let's see if I can get this. You going to hang on a minute? He's going to just rest there. I'm going to dry his head. All right, so Mango, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. We can't hear you. Oh, okay. Hang on. And Anurag, you couldn't hear me while I was talking over the blow dryer. Okay. Are you hearing me now? Can you guys hear me now? Please let me know. I want to know if there's any problems here. I don't do daily lives, Anurag. I do every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. If I'm late, it's just because the client was here and or the client was late or whatnot. So, do you make videos on Instagram? I don't make videos on Instagram, but lately I've tried to share them on on Instagram. I think that's on Instagram. Okay, I'm just gonna come down here. I'm surprised he's being good on the table. Yes, Mango, he's very good on the table. Actually, I have his two other brothers here. They're all amazing on the table. Sometimes he'll yelp for like no reason. He'll go, ah, you know, we call him Hollywood, me and his mom, because he exaggerates sometimes. Hi, and okay. That's where we're from. Okay. Okay, sorry. And hello, David. My coworker just spoke about groomer's lung. Yes, she said Jody Murphy first spoke about it, exactly. And that's where I learned from it, because I learned from Jody Murphy 15 years ago. I was taking her lessons on scissoring, and that's where I learned all of my scissoring from Jody Murphy. And yeah, groomer's lung is a serious thing, and it's something that you need to look into. A mask is not ridiculous. It is for your own health. If I don't wear these masks, I'm really sensitive for my lungs, and I usually do a lot of coughing if I don't wear any masks. So yes, Jody Murphy was right, Mango. Yeah, of course she's right. Oh, we love Jody. Okay, and Francesca, what kind of dog? This is a Coton de Tulear. Okay, thank you, Kathy, for the sounds fine for now. Okay, I'm glad it's working. It's because they're brand new. I just bought them. Actually, there's two. I didn't even realize. There's two mics, and I'm probably going to set the other mic here. Try this. And you'll hear the brushing probably closer and stuff. You know, maybe not when I use the clipper. I don't know. Maybe so. I'm just testing some stuff out with the sound too with this, so we'll see how it goes. All right. I'm going to explain to you guys what happened to this little Coton's. You notice he has like this hole here. Look at that. Poor little one. He ended up having an abscess here. This was like maybe 4 months ago or so, 5 months ago, I don't know. And the abscess got really big and it burst. And of course they saw that. And now the hair, you know, there was no more hair. I don't know if it's because they had shaved it off or the hair, it's just because of the abscess. It's just not growing back in this area here. But all around it, it's coming back. And look at that. It was huge. Apparently it was this big. An abscess can be caused by an ingrown hair. You know, we don't know what it was caused by. But he had an abscess. And it ended up bursting. And the hair is growing this color. It's not white anymore. He used to be completely white. But now it's growing like this. Look at that, guys. And he's bald there. So I'm going to get him grooming. I'm going to get grooming because I got to do my work, right? Yes, I thought he had some type of surgery. Yeah, no surgery. They didn't. I would have figured they would have probably tried to close the hole because it created this huge hole. But they were putting medication into that hole, and then it just ended up closing on itself. I think what would have had to happen is they would have had to probably do incisions or something like that to get the skin to close together. Because I don't know, I'm not a surgeon, but yeah. So he's fine. The infection's gone. He was on meds for a good while, and he's fine now. So now we're going to brush him out. And remember, guys, when we're brushing out, if you're using a slicker comb, we tap and pull up and away. You don't want to be brushing onto the skin. Always try your brush on your arm first to feel what it feels like. And if you're scratching your skin like that, you can hear that, right? You're causing brush burn, okay? And you don't want any brush burn on your dog because that hurts, of course. It'll irritate the skin, and you could even cause lesions, like little scratches, you know? And you don't want anything to get infected in there or whatnot, so. This is the best way to do it. If there is a longer length, tap and pull up. Try starting at the tips of the hair to try to get those little knots out. This is not a matted dog. That's for another video. I have other videos on matted dogs here. So his head's not dried yet, but I will get to that. I'm just going to give him a light brush here. And I'll show you how I dry his head. I'm going to dry your head now. And guys, it's always best to try to do things always in the same sequence, right? If you do, you start, of course we start with the bath, and in the bath you're gonna do like everything in a sequence. It's good to, you do the back, you do the tail, you do one leg, you do the other leg, do one leg, do leg, the other leg, do the sides, try to have sequences, because when you're doing things like in the same order, that's when you start picking up speed. And when I say speed, I don't mean working fast, and you need to be logical. You pick up speed by doing everything in the same order, and then you just start getting used to it, and it just gets done quicker. It's efficient. So I'm just going over with a comb here to be sure that there's no more little tangles. Turn you around. Turn you around. There you go. Lift up your legs, up. And we're going to dry his head. Okay, I'm going to show you my dryer here. I have the Dews. This is a new dryer I've been using. I have many dryers. Hang on. I thought you had some type of, okay, I was just reading again to see if there was anything that I missed here. All right, so I'm going to be using the Dews here. Oops, oh darn, sorry. Oh, sorry, I knocked them there. Aw, sorry, pup. Okay, so the Dews here is, it's a hands-free dryer, and you have your temperature, your fan, and your on and off. So there's my on. The fan can go lower and higher. The temperature, I usually leave the temperature at the lowest setting, because I find that it gets kind of warm. You can leave it like, I'll put it on the green light. Maybe I'll set it on the second setting sometimes. It depends. Like if I'm doing ears and I want them to be nice and really, really straight, because when it's warm, it helps to, to straighten everything out a lot more. So I'm just going to use this on his head like this. If ever you do use a dryer, force dryer on the head, please bring the force dryer away from the dog's head and try not to come in close. Again, try it on your face, try it close to your ears, this force dryer, and you'll see how that's loud and it can be annoying. So anything you want to do to the dog, try it on yourself first. See how you appreciate that. Try to get my mic out of the way. Well, maybe I should take this off. Sorry about that, guys. I'm pretty sure there was wind in the mic. Yeah. Whenever a dog is fighting me too much for having their faces dried, I'll just let that face air dry. Try to get a little done. He's okay. A little pulling like this is fine, guys. There's nothing wrong with a little pulling. Okay? He's just like, no, I don't want to. But I mean, if the dog is fighting you and he's like not doing well, it's like, take the time to just brush it out a little, comb out a little, and let the rest dry. You can use your towel to try to dry it the best you can, but brushing helps separate all the hairs. Each and every strand of hair. See, this is not competitive grooming. Competitive grooming, they have good dogs that just, they let the groomer work. And this is a very good dog. He's letting me work. He's just like a little annoyed. But again, it's not competitive grooming, so it's okay that it's not perfect. Of course, we love to see a perfect cut, a perfect, But sometimes you got to work with what you got, and you don't want to end your day tired and burnt out, and you don't want to burn out the dog, and you don't want the dog to be stressed the next time he comes to see you. Mind you, a lot of the dogs are always stressed when they come to the groomers, just like when they go to see the vet. Anytime they know they got to be up on a table, they're kind of stressed about that. So I started doing these new videos on Thursdays, because you all know that I upload videos every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. But I started uploading videos for the Thursday. And they were uploaded, they're premieres. So the last two ones were premieres. It's a premiere and chat. That's where I am with you guys during the launch of the video. I'm there with you guys in the chat. And I'm watching with you guys, and I'm there to answer questions, and I'm also there to just chit chat with you. And during the recording, yes, I'm grooming a pup, and I explain stuff, but I also just chit chat and talk about, life stuff. And I think that this is a good way to get to know this community, is so that we can all get together. We'll have a place to meet and get together on Thursdays. I was posting at 1, but I quickly realized, since I'm working at 1, I can't really be replying and chatting with you guys. So from now on, it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday. And I'm trying this out. Am I going to continue doing this? I don't know. I'll see how it picks up, if you guys like it or not. But I hope to see you guys in the chat on Thursdays, because we're going to talk. We talk life stuff. We talk just all kinds of stuff, and grooming, because I'm grooming the dog and I'm just chit-chatting while I work. So that's the new video that I'm uploading. And I'll also be, as mentioned, I'll also be, sorry, I have a brain freeze there. Well, yeah, when the community hits 4,000, yeah, I'll be launching private videos for members. I'll be launching the memberships. So in the memberships, it's going to be videos about, yes, about grooming, about special videos with, grooming videos, and also a lot of just everyday stuff that's going on with my life, sharing my music, because I'm a musician, sharing my thoughts, sharing my garden, sharing just all kinds of stuff, just the chit-chat stuff, and just the more personal stuff, whatever I think of. I'm going to get my teeth whitened, and I want to record that process. And another thing, I'm going to get my hair colored. I used to have red hair. I had red hair a good part of my adult life. And just the last 3 years, I've been trying out to go natural, and days I like it, days I don't. So I'm going back to my red color. And I want to record that process too, so you guys can see the whole, change. My hair's going to be colored by next week, but I'll launch the whole process and what I went through and how it went. I'll launch the whole process only once the community hits 4,000. All right, so we're chit-chatting a lot this morning, aren't we? Yes, we are. So I hope to see you guys on the Thursday, so we can do some chit-chatting together and get to know each other. I'm starting to get to know some of you, and it's really nice to make new friends. It's really nice. Really, really nice. Okay, so let's get grooming. Any questions here? How long should it take to groom a dog like him? In general, he will take me, if I'm not talking and doing this, because this is a little longer, of course, he will take me anywhere from an hour 15, maybe an hour and a half, depending on if I had to give him 2 shampoos, because sometimes you need to give 2 shampoos if they're really, really dirty. So that's an approx. But you know what? You go to your speed. You know, my speed and your speed is different. And all depending on how you have your routine down, you really need a routine. And, you know, having a routine will speed things up. And when I say speed things up, I don't mean to move faster. I mean to move more efficiently. Okay? I hope that answers your question, Mango. There's a dog sitting by the door like he wants out. No, that dog. Look, I'm going to show you guys. See, those are the brothers. 2 more Cotons. They're a family. So these 2 little Cotons, I've got to groom them afterwards. They always come together. They're from the same family. It's the same mom and dad. So those little Cotons are there. I'm going to groom them. I'm able to catch this live stream because I'm off from work today. Oh, well, I hope you have a nice day off, Mango. I just came back from a whole week's worth of rest and relaxation. I was off for the week, so I took myself a little bit of the vacation time. So I'm just going to clip some of this here. Like that. You do the same thing, the other leg here. Here, little foot. So is there anything that you guys would like to see more of? You know, is there something that seems to be missing in my videos that I could, you know, help out with? If you've seen any other videos, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you can like and subscribe. Tell the algorithm that I'm worth being followed or seen, so that we can grow the community and, you know, have some fun. Okay, so I just finished doing his toesies. Now I'm going to do his belly. Stand up. I really got to go slow with him because he had an operation was it 2 years ago maybe? Well, not an operation, sorry. He had a hernia. And, you know, we got to be careful with these little ones. You don't want to go too fast. And I don't want to cause any problems here. So, see over here, when he urinates, he'll urinate like that, right? Some dogs will come down this way, some will come up, you know, not all, they're not all exactly the same. The jet stream will only come out, you know, some will come out higher than others. So you just got to be sure that you're clearing out this area here. And we're going to shorten this also, but not with this clipper here. I mean, not with this length. This is a 10 blade, and I advise you using only a 10 blade under the arms and belly and bum. I usually do clear out the bum area with my scissors. All right. Have any of you tried out that new feature YouTube launched? They have this feature where if you don't speak English, like my videos are in English, if you don't speak the language, you can change the setting, and there's like a voiceover. I don't know if it's AI or I think so. Bingo. Need a mental break sometimes. Oh boy, do we ever. And you're welcome, Mango. Thank you, Mango. Is he a senior dog? Actually, he's getting up there in age. How old are you, hon? He's at least 10, I think. He's around 10. He's around 10. Okay, on with the grooming. Oh, I gotta do his nails. Gotta do the nails. He doesn't like me doing his nails. Sometimes he growls. We'll see how this goes. Oh, there's a little bit of hair there that was left there. Are you gonna growl at me? Sometimes he's not happy, sometimes he lets me do it. I'm just gonna snip just a little, just a little, just a little, honey. I'm not gonna fight this. I don't wanna fight this dog because you never wanna fight a dog. You never want to fight a dog. You never know what can happen. The dog's back could get hurt, you could get bit. It's on both sides, right? Accidents do happen. I mean, you do the best you can, honey. Hang on. Hang on. But since he had a hernia, I don't want him pulling and fighting. Oh, see, there's some growls there. You okay? Are you gonna bite me? No. No, just a little. No. Yeah, he can get a little antsy with me. No, see, he might yell because that's what we were saying a while ago. He's, we call him Hollywood, and there's a reason for that. Sometimes he likes to yell. Okay, honey, you're good. See, he's good. He's good. Whoop, there you go. Well done. Where's my other little clipper? All right, we want to do your toes. There. Sorry, I switched my things around. I got myself a little caddy there, and that's another thing. When you set everything at the same place all the time, you're not going to be looking for your tools. But right now, as I said, I just changed my caddy, and it'll take me this week to get used to it. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but anyhow, I needed a change. No. All right, so let's give him his cut. Now let's get grooming. All right, 13 millimeter comb here. It's a clipper comb here. It's the orange Andis number 1. That's 1/2 inch, 13 millimeters. I'm going to set it on a 30 blade. Do not set these clipper combs on a 40 blade, or you're going to have problems. That's going to just bust everything up. All right, let's do this. 13. So I'm going to do a little work. Try not to talk too much because I got to get this groom going. He's lost so much weight, guys, in the last year. Ever since his mom moved, I find him to be losing a lot of weight. I'm just back brushing with you can use the comb, you can use the brush you want. I'm just using this comb, see, has these little blue nibs on it that does not scratch, so it's okay to back brush onto the skin. If you're to back brush with your slicker brush, just tap and pull up, not, tap and pull. Or if you are to move, just move really lightly. I'm holding extremely lightly, and you just gotta be really careful on that skin there. There you go. Hold on the back. It's pretty long for this to grow. It's taking time. Can you show me your bum bum? All right. Everyone can see. Bum area. The rest will be done with scissors. I just kind of do a little on the side here. Sometimes I'll come in and do that a little, but I'm going to use the scissors to do the legs. I prefer scissoring the legs, unless someone is asking me to go really, really short. Because I want the legs to balance out with the body, right? I don't want little scrawny legs and a big body. You try your best also. The dogs, sometimes you'll lift the tail and they'll want to pull down. Try not to pull back up with the, if you do like that, put your hand underneath and pull. Sometimes they do pull, 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 and you're holding and they're pulling down, and then you got to bring them back up. And they don't always like having their hair cut in that area. All right, so see what I did? I did the back, I did the sides of the legs, I did the bum here. You don't want to go on top. I'm going to come here, turn towards me, honey. If you try to let the dog, instigate, not instigate, but like when you want to turn him around, if you're kind of giving him the sign that you want him to be turned and he'll turn on his own, that's always better than to just swirl him around. Because you're learning to work together, right? And when you're working together, then trust. That's all it is. This is all about trust here. We've known each other for a long time. Yes, we have. I want to go up. Okay. He wants to sit on your bum like that. You don't want to stand. I think it would be easier for me if you'd stand. I'm going to go in reverse right from here where I left off, just so that I can make that look a little neater. There, put that down. And we're going to do under your other side too, please. And thank you. Thank you, honey. All right, do your head. So 16 millimeter first head. I'll show you what that is in a second. So this again was the 13 millimeter, and that is the number one Andes comb. It's the orangish. Did I say yellow a while ago? It's like a peachy orange, because there is another yellow one, and that's the 16. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to be using. The 16 is the 0 yellow Andes. That's 5/8 inch that I'm going to be doing on his head. So here, there may be questions. Here, I'm not a content creator. Is that translation for content creators? No. I say no, but I don't know. I think it's a feature that's launched for everyone who has a video. It's like if you upload a video of you, I don't know, you're talking about your flowers or you're going on vacation, I think that feature is there too. They're starting to roll it out. It might not be available for everyone, but I noticed that when I click on my videos, for me, when I checked, I heard myself speaking in Italian and in other languages. Well, no, not myself speaking, sorry, they were overdubbing with another voice. It wasn't my voice. But I think it's AI actually doing that. I'm not sure how that's being done, but with AI today, it's probably that. Can you use a guard comb or 10 or 15 on a 10 or 15 blade? You can use a guard comb on those, but you just do not use it on the 40 blade. I've never tried it on the 15. I think you can do it on the 15, but just be sure. I always use either a 10 or a 30. If you're using 10, tell yourself that there's already a length on your 10. So if you're saying this is going to leave 5/8 inch, well, your 10 blade is going to add a little more length than what it says here. Just remember that, because the 10 is longer. Appy Wonder. I hope I'm saying that right. So sweet, the dog. Greetings from Germany, and a hello to you. All right, Faith. When would going in reverse be better and save more? When would going in reverse? Yes, some people do the reverse and save more than back brushing. Yes, probably. But this is how I learned it, and it's how I like to do it. But I do want to try the reverse technique. I have never tried it in 15 years. I have never tried it. But yeah, I've heard that you don't have to be doing back brushing. But they say you can teach an old dog new tricks. You can't, or you can. I'm not sure. But it's just that I'd have to try it on one of my dogs first, and then maybe I'd do a video about that, of how I feel about doing the back reverse. But I'm pretty sure it's awesome. I've seen the finishes. It looks great, and it's just that I've never done it yet. I find that going in reverse is often quicker and doesn't require me to stop and back brush everything multiple times. You are more than right. I am pretty sure that it probably does save time. But again, I would have to try it first on one of my dogs and then, feel, because when we're going in reverse, it's a little shorter than, it actually is a little shorter than what your, than what it says. Like if it's a 5/8 and you're doing this way, it'll give a 5/8 that's left on the hair. But if you're going reverse, it'll be a little shorter. So I just never tried it, but you are more than right. You're more than right. Mango, that's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to continue on with the cut here. We're going to do the dog's head here, 5/8, 16 millimeter. Let's bring it down to the front. Yeah, like that. And what I like to do also, of course I'm going to comb everything back and try to do it again. But what I like to also do is I like to pull the skin back. See how the skin, woo, he's opening his eyes. Pull the skin back and come in and you can get just a little more. Remember not to come down into the nose, you want to come out. Follow the length of that nose because you do not want to poke the dog's eyes and hurt him. All right, let's get into the scissoring. And it's always good to put your stuff back away where it belongs so that don't be messy. If you're messy and you're looking for your stuff, you're not gonna gain speed that way. Did I knock you? I'm so sorry, little one. I have this other. I'm gonna put this here. Again, I'm testing, guys. I need to see, whoops, how these mics are working. So if it's making little noises and annoying, I'll see it later when I listen to the video. All right, so I'm gonna brush out the toes here, and I'm just gonna wear my mask because I'm starting to feel it in my nose and face here. So you can either do this like I'm doing, or you can just set that foot on the ground and just go around the foot. This is just the way I prefer to do it. I just don't have to bend down and, because I have back problems. And, so bending down and just kind of looking like that. It's kind of a little more difficult for me, but this is how I like to do it. And just as long as when you're doing it that you just bevel that foot, you want to be a little more flat. Like flat on the foot, like when you're cutting, flat on the foot, like this. If you're doing it sideways, like this, sideways, like that, you're gonna cause a ledge. So if you're flatter, cutting around like flatter like that, then it'll be more beveled. Okay. And anyway, once you put that foot down and you start doing the legs. If there's anything hanging out, see how flat I am? Instead of being sideways. And I'm just pulling up that hair, pushing with my finger. Then you'll be able to fix any sticky outies once the foot's down on the ground. I just do it like that, nice and quick, 1, 2, 3, 4. All done. All right. I'm gonna give him just a little more wiggle room so that I can turn him here. Okay, so he's got a lot of waves in his hair, and when you're clipping like that, it doesn't always leave a nice finish because of the waves. So I just come in with I'll show you how I do that in a minute. I do the clipper over comb. Scissor over comb. Clipper over comb. And I'll show you how I do that in a minute. I'm just gonna clear this up here. I got a lot of videos on my channel where I explain how I do all of this. And my videos are about, it's like you learn as I groom. So when I'm grooming, I'm just kind of explaining what's going on in certain areas. I have a hair in my mouth. Ugh. Got it. That's another reason why I wear a mask. Sorry. Yeah, so my videos are mostly about that. I'll be grooming the dog, and then I'll stop and explain specific areas where explaining needs to be done. You know, like every situation, every dog is different. See how I'm angling this here? I'm just gonna fluff this up here. No, no, hun. No, no. I'm just holding that leg up and I'm locking the leg so that he doesn't pull the leg from me. I want to go on the inside here. It's just going straight down. I know you guys might not be seeing well. I don't know. And I'm gonna come in here and do the same thing. Just bring it straight down, like following the curvature of the leg. Okay, so I'm going to finish this off, like I said, with scissor over comb. I'll show you how I do that. Being extremely careful. There's extra skin there. Come in here. He's just watching his brother walking around. His brother's pacing around. I have 3 of them to do, so. Ah, little one. You anxious to get off the table? Pretty sure you are. You want to go sniffing around? Fluff this to the side. So again, some groomers will just use the clipper comb and go all the way down and do the same length everywhere. You can do that, of course. I just learned it this way, and I find that I have a little more control on the length of the legs. The dog's body is really big. Oh, thank you. He just made a pee-pee. Thank you for the pee-pees. Yeah, I just find that I have a little more control over how wide I want that leg to look. But sometimes I'll do it because the client says, I just want the legs really short, just like his body. And then I'll use it, do it. I'm not going to be really satisfied with the length because sometimes the leg will look a little too small compared to the body. Some of these pups are a little overweight. Oh yeah, we're going to just finish off with the... I'll use this one. I could use this one. I'm going to try. Hang on. And all depending on how good your dog will be on the table. Wait, wait. I just want to clear out some of these little marks here, these clipper marks. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my comb. And hang on, don't move, honey. And you just tip the edges, the ends of the hair here to try to get rid of some of those little clipper marks. And that should kind of fix some of the little mistakes there. To look good. See how my hand is always underneath? I'm always underneath here, holding, being sure that that little area he doesn't get cut, right? So this is okay. If you don't want to use your comb, you can just float above the hair, you know, just floating on top and just getting the edges. So it's looking a little better than it was with the little clipper marks that were there. So we're going to turn them around. And again, guys, you're always going to find little sticky outies. They just show up. I mean, you think you're done and you're never done. You put the dog on the ground, you start running after the dog with your scissors and wait, I see something. I'm just going to finish this leg and I'm going to turn to see if there are any questions there. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Elizabeth Jenn. Professional dog groomer since 2010. I groom only small dogs 20 pounds and under. And I groom from my own little grooming room here, which I absolutely love. I love coming in here in the morning. It's my little spot. Got my fish, my plants, all the light, the beautiful windows I have here. And today we're getting beautiful snow. All right, so that's one leg. Even if you're doing a back comb downwards also afterwards to see if there's anything sticking out. Because I fluff upwards, but then I'll comb downwards also to be sure, that I'm getting everything, or the most I can at least. So the front here to connect that here, if I haven't done it already. Wow. Okay, there's a magnet. There's a magnet on this here. The mic has a magnet. Look, my scissors ended up getting. My scissors get sticking to the magnet. I'm going, what's wrong with my scissors? It's the magnet. Okay. All right, we can do this side here. So also letting you guys know that I'm live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm here for questions. That's why I do these lives. I may arrive a little late. Sometimes my clients are here and we're just chit-chatting at 10 and I have to wait for them to leave for their privacy, right? So yeah, so live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And on Thursdays now I am doing, it's called Premiere and Chat. Premiere and Chat. It's that little cartoon. I use the cartoon, well for now that's what I'm using, the cartoon thumbnail. And yeah, the Premiere and Chats, well, they're more for getting to know this community, getting to know you guys. I've been doing videos for you guys for a year and a half now, and I don't know many of you guys, and I know a few. But it's, if I'm to be here uploading all these videos and talking to you guys, I'd like people to chit-chat with me also, because I've been chatting with you guys for this long. But anyhow, so that's on Thursdays. On Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll be doing it in the evenings. So they're the Premiere and Chat. So the video launches at 8 p.m. and you'll see there's like a little countdown. I try to leave just a minute countdown, the time for people to arrive. I don't want you guys to wait too long for the countdown, because you can set it for 2 minutes. For now, I'm just leaving it at 1 minute, and then there's the countdown, and then we can all chat together. And during the video, what the video is about is, in general, is just me. It's just me grooming the dog, but I'm talking about, life stuff and just stuff in general. I can be talking about something that's going on with the grooming, like if something's like the dog's not letting me do something, I'll show you how I'm doing it, just like when I do my normal videos. But in general, I'd be chit-chatting with you guys. I'm right there in the chat and answering more questions. And the video, and again, I'm just talking about, life's general stuff, and maybe something that a client mentioned or something that happened during the week. It's just to get the conversation going. You know, it's just a place to meet. And we don't even have to talk about anything I'm talking about. If we just want to chat in the chat about whatever, then I'm right there. That's what the premieres are for. And then again, I'll be launching once the community hits 4,000 subscribers, I'll be launching the members. Sorry, there is a little knot here. I'm not going to comb through that. It happens often, guys, where they get little knots on their toes. It was a little higher than his toe, but what's going on? Why are you following me? All right, legs are done. All right, let's turn you around. See, in general, I'd be done by now. But because I'm stopping and chit-chatting and talking, that kind of slows me down. But you know, this is only once a week where I get to do this, be live, so. I don't want to overdo it either. And you guys get bored with me. There. I'm going to throw this back on for a little. I don't want to be impolite and talk to you guys through my mask, but I'm kind of working right now and I kind of got to do it. Give me just a second. I am going to answer some of those questions. I see there's someone that wrote something. Give me a second. Hang on. Let's read this. Okay. Sorry. I made you wait. Yes, it is cozy in here, Mango. It is so cozy, and that's why I love coming here. It's very meditative. Seeing well, feeling bad about that you have back problems. Yes, I've had back problems since the age of 14. I fell and I hurt my back, and ever since I've had a hernia. So, yes. Of faith, when would going in reverse? Okay, we already read that. Sorry, I'm just going through the comments right now, guys. How long does a groom for a small dog usually take? Pearlie, I hope I'm saying that right. It usually takes between an hour and 15, an hour and a half, depending on the dog, depending on the groomer, you know. It depends on how quick you are with your when I mean quick, I don't mean moving fast every time. I'll mention that again. We're not moving fast, we're moving efficiently, and you have to have your routine down. It's got to be this, you know, always the same thing. And then once you get that rolling, speed will come, not speed fast. Speed is the result of, getting your routine down, okay? You don't want to try to move fast. You want to move efficiently. And and keeping your stuff put away. Like, okay, yeah, right now I have my scissors on my table. I need my scissors. But once you're done with we'll say you're using a spray or whatnot, put that back in the same place. Put everything back in the same place all the time. And you will be quicker. Instead of, because it does show when you're always looking for your stuff. Oh, where'd I put that? Where'd I put that? And then it gets frustrating. And then it causes, stress and anxiety, and the dog will feel that, and you don't want that. So you want to put your stuff away all the time. And from one groomer to another, it takes me that much time. But it depends on who you are, I mean, if it's taking you 3 hours, it might be a little too long, you can do better. But anywhere between an hour and a half, when you've got your routine done, for a dog, a Coton like this with thicker hair, it depends. Are you shaving the dog? Are you giving him a hand cut? Are you doing a mix of both, hand cutting and shaving? It depends. But the general answer would be anywhere between an hour and a half. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of this here because I am seeing some clipper marks that I don't want. And when you're doing this, don't stop. Don't stop and keep cutting in the same spot. You're going to create a hole. You don't want that. His hair it's you know, it's so thick it doesn't glide easy. There are some dogs where I'm just like running right through the hair, but his hair is really it's really thick, and it's always best when they're, you know, standing. If the dog can't stand for this, then you might not want to be. You might have to skip this step. Or you don't use the comb, you can just float. I like to use the comb. Makes everything a little more equal. Okay, so that's not too shabby. Huh, not too shabby. There, nice and soft. All right, let's do the back end here and get you done. Get you done. I'm just going to get rid of some of this. Oh, I'm just following the leg all the way down. That's all it is. Follow the leg all the way down. We're just following the shape of the body. You can do some back combing and also combing downwards. And then you think you're done, but you're never really done, are you? Huh? I could do this and keep trying to perfect it and perfect it. You got to learn when it's enough. And remember, these are not, these dogs are not competitive. It's not competitive dog grooming. We're just cleaning out the dog, getting him nice and ready for home and be comfortable in their own skin, you know? I mean, you still want the dog to look decent, of course. I'm not saying not. He's really good. Look, he's not even sitting. Again, you can use a shaver here. This is just how I learned to do it. As long as you get, you know, I try to get this here too. As long as you get all around there, all around here, get rid of all of that. You don't want anything hanging on their bum. All right, so we're gonna stand you up, hon. I'm just gonna bring this tail all the way down. The end of his tail is here. Always check for the bone. Bring it all the way down to the table. And I'm just going to cut the excess hair that's off the table. Then I'm going to create a little flag here. Give it a shake. Comb on each side. And I am just going to cut a little flag. Go from one tip, from the tip going down, all the way back up. His little poopy area here. Yeah, I'm using these little words instead of saying what it really is. I don't know if YouTube will give me a strike or something if I say the part of the anatomy. So, so I just say poopy area. Jewels, you know, I'm careful with what I'm saying, so that's why I say that. So there you go, you got yourself a nice little flag tail here. All right, okay, turn you around, hon. Boop. All right, stand you up. You got to stand up for this. I'm going to comb this all upwards in the back here, and I'm just going to take all the excess out and go straight down. Some dogs might not be able to stand like this. So you got to do it, you know, by lifting the leg. You know, you got to just lift one leg like this and come in that way, you know. Depends on the dog. See, like I said, there's always something somewhere that's bothering me. Okay. Sit, 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 sit. Okay, we can do his head. Really? You always want to hold your dog's head? because they could move any moment, and you have scissors in your hand, so you need control over that head. Just clearing out the corners here. Any questions? Okay, no more questions there. I may want to come in and get closer to the eyelid. Just underneath here. Make sure that's cleaned out. Now I'm going, oops, wrong ones. I want to use these here. All right. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Okay, hang on. Now for the head, all I'm going to do is going to use my chunkers. Chunk off a whole bunch. Bring the ear back, and all I want to do is connect the nose to the back of the ear. You can use whatever scissors make you comfortable. I'm just going to go right at the ear here. You see how these chunkers, they leave little teeth marks everywhere. I'm just going to clear that out with my softer scissors after. I have blenders that will be just fine. The chunkers just helps to take off all of this bulk. See what I did there? Now I went from here and I went to the top of the ear. Okay? We'll fluff everything up. Look at him from right. No, you're all good. Right in front of me. You're all good, honey. I know I have to hold your face. So he's right in front of me, so now I'm just connecting the side here to the side of his eye. Okay? Like I said, and now I'm going to use my thinning shears, my blenders, more blenders. They help to blend everything in. It takes away teeth marks. All right, so I'm going to fluff up this side here. See how square that is now? I'm just going to use my little ones here and just round that out. Get rid of that square and just round it out. We're going to go behind the ear. Get rid of all of that junk. Just behind the ear, not on the top of the ear, just behind. See, these scissors have teeth. That's why I got to chomp, chomp, chomp. See the teeth? They're not like a normal pair of scissors with one blade, right? So there's a lot of, you got to snip, 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 and you got to move around because it only takes a little out at a time. So this is one side, and that's the other side, okay? So they're here every 6 weeks. So this is 6 weeks worth of hair that I'm taking off. Just had bubbles in my throat. Oh, excuse me, my. So, it's only normal, especially if you're starting out, if you find it's longer for the head. It does seem to be a little longer to be doing the head. There's work to get done on the head, right? You're working that circle. You want a nice round face. And be careful, when using these chunkers, boy, do they chunk. And from one groomer to another, the dog's cut. We all learn pretty much how to do this. Like we all learn the basics, but each groomer really has their own style, right? The way they cut. And the way they'll do the face, the way they'll do the nose, the way they'll, you've probably noticed like from one groomer to another that the dogs don't exactly look the same. That's fine, you know? It's like hairdressers. We're just same thing. You know? Same thing. And I'm going to use these to get rid of those marks. And you'll notice that if you're right-handed, you'll see that this side seems to be easier to work with because, you know, you're right-handed. And then when you're learning to do this side, doing it this way, it's always more of a challenge, you know? And if you're left-handed, it's the contrary. Soften this up. Just gonna make a nice round face, like that, like that. Yeah, I'm going to be going for lunch very soon. Lunchtime. Just gotta poke to see what's not round, what's sticking out. That's why it's longer. Getting the face done when you just gotta keep looking at what's sticking out. I'm gonna do the back of the head here. See, one side seems longer, so I gotta fix that. Back side of the head. Get rid of the junk back here. Okay. Sorry, hon. I'm gonna do the top of your head too. See, now this is where I start nitpicking, you know. What am I liking? What am I not liking? That's a little too long still. What am I liking? What am I not liking? I like to come in a little flatter, like this, flat like this. When I'm trying to bevel, make it round like that. So come in like that. All right, I'll come back to the face afterwards. I'm just going to fluff all of that up and get rid of this here. Get rid of some of those sticky outies there. See what that looks like. All right, there's another thing that sometimes I'll get rid of. He doesn't have any, but sometimes they have this little extra hair here that gets all dirty, and I'll come in there and cut that, but he doesn't have any. So sorry, I started talking about it, but I can't show you because he doesn't have it. So I'm just going to do his ears here, and then I'll have another look at his face. I'm just going to take a little off. I usually come at around the jawline, and I'm going to cut a semicircle like this. Thank you, Mango. He does look awesome. Handsome. Sorry, handsome. Thank you so much. And I'm going to do this little side here. And of course, you memorize where that ear leather is. I don't want to make it square unless the client asks me. But once I've done my cutting here, I'm going to come in with my really soft blenders here. I'm just going to come in at an angle like that. Just an angle so that it's not so square. You know? You don't want that blunt look. Ugh, sorry, scratch, scratch, scratch. I just don't want the blunt look. I like it to be rounder, softer, okay? And you might want to do that on the inside also. You'll notice that it's square on the inside. Really? Is that tickling you? Just want to be sure that everybody can see. No, you can't. We'll see after. Let's see, remove that. Do the other ear. See the difference? Right there. Do this side. Where's the ear? The ear's right here. So I can cut at around there. And the way I'll cut is I'm going to come in and create a little, I don't want it to be a square ear unless the client asks me. But this is the way I'll do it. And then I'll come in and I'm going to go in an angle here. And I'm just going to feather that out like that because it looks a little more natural, not as blunt. And on the inside also, don't forget the inside, guys, because you'll notice when you look at the dog, it's all flat on the inside. And you don't want that. Got to take a little more off here. Again, see how I have to do there's a lot of snipping going on. These are blenders and you need to cut like you need to do a lot of movement. These scissors. There. Okay. It's not too bad. Not too shabby. All right. Here's okay. Over there. So guys, if you have not subscribed yet, you can subscribe to this channel, and as soon as this community hits 4,000, there will be private videos for you guys and all kinds of stuff in there. Not only about grooming, just all kinds of stuff. And I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I go live every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, right? Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And I go live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And sometimes I am a little late because my client is still with me. So it's around that time. So this is the result here. I'm probably, after I stop the stream, I'm probably going to be just continuing to nitpick on little areas here. Oh, that's perfect that they do that. When they do that, that's perfect. Because then you can see if anything is going to stick out. See, that's not as round as I would have wanted it to be. So because he shook his head, that rounded everything out better. Huh, how come you can't get this to... So guys, I'm going to thank you so much for watching. Look at all that I gotta get off here. Let's perfect him. We're gonna perfect him afterwards. There's our little one. Little Spark. He did such a good job. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be here next Wednesday also. And again, Monday and Friday, new videos, 8 a.m. And I'll see you Thursday on my new Premiere and Chat, 8 p.m. So I hope to see you there Thursday, Premiere and Chat, 8 p.m. We're going to chit-chat. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I'm right there in the chat with you guys. And we're going to see a little more grooming. Take care, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.